Alrighty friendos, welcome in. So in today's video, we're going to be making a new gold trophy guide, aka the Apocalypse 3 guide. I have another guide, but it's a little bit outdated. So here is my new and updated one since the Ascension update dropped with tier 3 equipment and such. So we're going to talk about strategies, hiding spots, how to identify certain ghosts, what objectives to pick, so on and so forth. But first and foremost, what is the gold trophy? Well, the Gold Trophy is a challenge where you have to play on settings like this, so a 15 times reward multiplier. You have to do it in single player, like so by yourself. You have to go to this full Sunny Meadows map. You have to quickly identify the ghost type, get a picture of the ghost, and do all 3 objectives. You do not have to find the bone. I know people ask me that. Do you have to find the bone? No, you do not have to find the bone. And as far as the settings go, like I said, it has to be a 15 times reward multiplier. But you can change one thing. Actually, there's like 2 things you can change. But the only thing I'm going to recommend changing is the weather. So you can change this to light rain, snow, windy, or fog. Any other weather will lower the multiplier below 15 times. I would recommend windy. It's like the least invasive. Before the Ascension update, I might have recommended foggy because it makes the map brighter. But now it kind of makes it a little bit harder to see. So I personally would go with windy. Feel free to either choose like light rain, snow, or fog. The heavy rain, in my experience, is just like way too loud to actually hear the ghost. Between the thunder and the rain itself, I prefer windy. And as far as equipment goes, this is what I would recommend. I would definitely have tier 3 everything. Tier 3 salt, you could probably get away with like tier 2 salt. The tier 3 salt is just a little bit nicer because it kind of slows down the ghost. But sometimes it can mess up going for the ghost picture, which we can talk about later. But yeah, you'd be fine with tier 2 salt, but tier 3 equipment for everything else. And I'd recommend bringing both crucifixes, all the candles, just in case you have the candle objective and the ghost isn't near the chapel, which again, we'll talk about objectives later. Tier 3 headgear is actually one of the only ways you're gonna be able to see when you're looking for the ghost or just trying to navigate Sunny Meadows. Tier 3 igniter, of course. You only need to bring 1, but sometimes I bring all 4. Because I'm notorious for leaving my lighter somewhere and then never being able to find it again. So I'd say at least 1, maybe 2, if you're like me. Tier 3 incense. Again, you could use tier 2 or tier 1 or 2. Why can't I talk right now? Tier 2 incense. But the tier 3 incense is nice because it has the longest blindness duration of 7 seconds. It also stops the ghost in its tracks, so you can smudge it like decently far away. That way you can get into your hiding spot when you're going for the picture. So tier 3 incense, I recommend. Tier 3 motion sensor, parabolic microphone. Again, you only need to bring 1 of those, but I just feel comfortable bringing 2. Photo camera. Thankfully, you only have to bring 1 photo camera now. Definitely tier 3, and then definitely some salt. Again, tier 2 is fine, but tier 3 if you want. This is all you're gonna need to figure out the ghost and like get all the objectives done and whatnot. Now, I guess if we're getting like super nuanced, you could potentially like bring more dots if you wanted light. But it's like super loud, and I think you get like the same effect with like bringing in the lanterns. The lanterns actually provide insane amount of light. All right, so we have our difficulty, we have our equipment. Now let's talk about the objectives you're gonna want to look for when you're loading into the game, because the gold trophy can either be super easy, depending on if you're willing to restart for good objectives and the ghost being in a good location, or you can make it as challenging as you want and just load into any game, no matter where the ghost is, no matter what objectives you have. So I'm going to assume that you want to make it easier on yourself and restart for good objectives. So these are the objectives that I would recommend avoiding. There's only 3 objectives that I would potentially stay clear of, which would be find evidence of paranormal with the EMF reader, prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix, and have a member of your team witness a ghost event. Now, the crucifix and EMF objective are definitely doable. They just require you to get decently close to the ghost, and on this difficulty, that sometimes means death, so I'll leave the EMF and crucifix up to you. I usually only do those if I'm really tired of restarting for other objectives. But the ghost event objective is super duper RNG, and sometimes you will never get a ghost event in your entire game. So I would definitely try to avoid this one. The trifecta of objectives, if you happen to get them, would be like cleanse the area near the ghost, or capture a photo of the ghost, or anything to do with smudging or escaping the ghost during a hunt, because you're going to be doing those anyways to get the ghost picture and to try to identify the ghost. But a couple other like nuanced ones, like motion sensor, you can definitely get done. Just put it near you whenever you're going to get the picture and the ghost will activate it. The candle one, there's a bunch of candles in the chapel, so if the ghost happens to be near the chapel, it'll blow out one of those candles and it'll count. And a parabolic microphone, I'm going to be recommending using the parabolic microphone a lot anyways, so with the tier 3 parabolic microphone, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so now we have our custom setup, our equipment, and recommended objectives. Now I'm going to hop into Sunny Meadows. I'm going to go into a different custom where I'm like super fast and the ghost doesn't hunt. That way I can show you like certain hiding spots. I'm going to call them like central hubs where you'll like set up to like try to identify the ghost and get the picture. These are spots I'd recommend. I'll talk about spots where I just like wouldn't go at all if the ghost is in our area because it is like super duper tough to identify the ghost and stay safe over there. So once you got like the good objective set up that you want, now it's time to find like where the ghost is. And I would recommend restarting for like ghost location, right? So like I'll go and talk about the spots that I would just automatically restart if the ghost is there. The first one being the kitchen, this area back here. There aren't very good hiding spots back here. There is potentially one, but I wouldn't recommend it because it might be seen as like a god spot. And I don't really want to recommend god spots. But basically, if the ghost is back here, it's going to be extremely difficult to figure out. There aren't really good hiding spots. So if you notice the ghost is back here and you can't get it to path up towards the chapel, then I would definitely restart. The other spot that I would recommend the ghost, if they are there, that I would restart is the restricted wing, which is over here. Now, sometimes if the ghost is over here, you can get them to come upstairs to a spot that I'll show you in a little bit. But if you can't get them to come up there, I would maybe restart. But definitely kitchen. If the ghost in the kitchen, I would just restart because it's very, very difficult to get anything from the ghost when they're back there. All right, so if you were to immediately step inside the building and the ghost were to hunt from, say, like this room or that room, you can potentially get away with hiding here. This could potentially be like a central hub where you set up with crucifixes and salt. Might be a little bit difficult to get the ghost picture. You may have to go to my next recommended hiding spot, but this is actually a spot I use to figure out the teleporty ghosts. So like Wraith, Phantom, or Banshee. I will set up crucifixes and salt on a motion sensor here if I think it's one of those 3 ghosts. Because as long as, if the ghost room is right here, sometimes they path over here, but sometimes it's your only option. But yeah, if the ghost is a Wraith, Phantom, or Banshee, aka they like teleport and try to hunt on top of you, this could be a good spot. Which we'll talk about that because I'm actually going to play a game on the 15 times settings, and so we'll talk about that if we get one of those ghosts. But that is an option, not 100% safe, especially if the ghost is in like one of these rooms. It's a little difficult to get to my next recommended hiding spot, which is the piano. You may have to do it after you smudge the ghost, but this is a really good spot to try to figure out the ghost. Get the picture, you have it come through here, try to identify it. So the piano, you can hide right here. It's not 100% safe, you could definitely die here, but it's safer than just standing out in the open. Let's put it that way. Alright, next hiding spot I'm going to talk about is underneath these stairs. Not a great spot to like go for the picture, because you'd have to like get the ghost to both like come in here, get the picture, and then hide without the ghost seeing you. But it is an option. I'm just giving you all options here that you can work with. Ignore that. So I forgot to turn off hiding spots on this difficulty. That won't be here. But this will always be here. Same with the piano. Okay. Now this next hiding spot isn't great to like set up as like a central hub for figuring out the ghost, because if the ghost is anywhere down there and they see you hide, you're kind of dead. But this is a hiding spot. This right here, you set the crouch, turn off your equipment, and you actually can open the door from here to see if the ghost is still hunting or not. So like, see, I can open the door. No, the ghost isn't hunting. So that is a potential spot. This next spot is really good, but it takes a little bit of skill. This spot right here, you may have seen me use in other videos, but you can actually loop the ghost here infinitely, even at 50% speed. You just have to be very careful about your movement. So the ghost can't like go in between here. So as long as you move left and right accordingly, the ghost can't get you. So this is like a really good spot if the ghost is in this area, or maybe even in the restricted wing. But if the ghost is in like one of these rooms right here, it might be a little risky trying to get all the way here. But this is just an option. If you can't get the ghost to come out to the chapel, you know it's over here, you could potentially use this spot to loop the ghost, try to figure it out, get the ghost picture. And the next spot we're going to talk about is in the East Wing. Sorry, West Wing. Directions are tough. We were just in the East Wing. In the West Wing. There's only one spot in the upstairs West Wing that I would recommend. And somebody say this is a god spot. Okay, it doesn't normally look like this. Let me restart so it looks like how it's supposed to. Alright, so this is what the bed will look like for you on 15 times settings. You can't actually hide behind here. I just wouldn't use this as a god spot. I think it might currently be, but don't do that. Just use it as a hiding spot, you know, hide here. Maybe go for the ghost picture right here, smudge, and then hide. But that's the only spot on this upstairs, this side, that you can use. Downstairs has a couple spots, actually. Only thing about downstairs, the ghost is like pretty far away. It's a lot of walking, so I'll leave it up to you if you even want to try out the game if the ghost is this far away. But there are some pretty good hiding spots down here. So, actually don't mind if the ghost is over here. The first one I'm going to show you is so we're in the West Wing downstairs in the basement. This right here will always be here. It's not as safe as some of the other spots I'll show you down here, but it is an option, especially if you have to like slowly make your way to the other hiding spots in this hallway. That is an option. This next one is, so we came in through that door. 1, 2, 3 rooms down is this room. This spot will always be here. Actually feel really safe in this spot as long as I have like a crucifix in the room and I'm not like in the ghost room. The only reason the ghost would find you here is if your equipment's on or if it's spawned on top of you. And then the next spot I'm going to show you is actually another like looping spot, kind of like those beds I showed you upstairs in the East Wing. You can't actually loop the ghost here. They can't fit in between here. But if you were to turn off your equipment and hide here as well, the ghost would just walk right by the room. So this is also an option. Also a good place to like loop the ghost if you want to get information. But again, can be tricky because you're only 50% speed. The ghost is 150 speed. So I'll leave that up to you. But I'm just giving you all options. And there could be other hiding spots, other parts of the map that y'all know about. You won't recommend it, but those are just the ones that I would recommend for doing the gold trophy and the ones that I use. Okay, so we have hiding spots down. Now I think it's time to hop into a game so I can talk about some of the mechanics and how I go about figuring out the ghost, doing all the objectives, getting the ghost picture, etc. So let's do it. Okay, so now we got some good objectives we can actually get done. The candle one might depend on where the ghost is. So what we're gonna do from here, oh, my game is dying, please hold. Alright, is I recommend going in with night vision goggles, a crucifix, and incense and lighter. The crucifix is just in case you get like a teleporty ghost and they try to hunt on top of you within the first like 10 seconds. And then the smudge stick and lighter is just for, you know, for more safety. Because you could potentially have a Dio and you would need a smudge to get away. Alright, so if we're just gonna go inside and vibe out by the front door and listen to see if we can hear the ghost at all. If we can't hear the ghost, we'll go and grab the parabolic mic and then try to hear the ghost at that point. Okay, and the hunts last for 60 seconds on this difficulty, so if you hear the front door slam or hear the ghost start hunting, you can set a timer for 60 seconds. And so far, I do not hear the ghost. Alright, so the hunt's almost over, and at this point we could probably cross off Dio, because the Dio would have beelined it right to us and found us. So yeah, our first ghost crossed off. So as soon as this hunt's over, what I'm going to do at this point is grab a parabolic mic. We're going to try to find the ghost. Now, there is still a small chance it could be like a Wraith or a Phantom or a Banshee and it hasn't used its ability. So as we walk around, it could still potentially teleport on us, but we're going to hope it doesn't do that. And we're just going to kind of move around to different checkpoints and use parabolic mic to try and hear the ghost. Alright. Okay, the ghost is hunting again. Did not hunt on top of us, so that is good. Oh, okay. I heard it. However... I'm trying to think if we're even be able to aggro it over to the chapel. We might be able to. So it's kind of an area I said to restart if the ghost is there. However, oh, what's she coming? Alright, she went downstairs. Yeah, so we might be able to aggro it to the chapel, actually. She's kind of in like the courtyard area. So she's actually close enough to chapel to aggro. So what we'll do at this point is we're gonna try to get everything inside to try to, 1, get all the objectives done, and 2, figure out the ghost type. I'm pretty sure she sounded normal 150 speed. Maybe slightly faster, but I'm not convinced on that. So right now we'll say we can definitely cross off like Moroi, Fae, Revenant as far as speed goes. She was not slow enough to be Revenant and not fast enough to be one of these two. I believe I do have a video talking about like all the different ghost speeds. I can link that in description at 150 if you want to hear what they sound like. There's also a really useful website that I can link as well. I didn't make it, it's just one that I use. We can listen to what the ghost speed sounds like at 150 to see if your ghost sounds like that. So I believe we need, oh good, she already blew up the firelight for us. Let's go. She went near the chapel, nice. So we just need a motion sensor, we're gonna need a camera for the picture, and then I'm gonna bring in all the smudge sticks. Okay, so I'm gonna go back with, let's see, incense, lighter, and a camera, and we'll try to get to the piano if she'll allow us. It does sound like she's not quite like in the chapel, just close to the chapel. And again, we're just hoping she's not a teleporting ghost and she's not gonna teleport on top of us. Alright, she is hunting. I'm gonna keep trying to go to the chapel. Wish me luck. I don't hear her yet. Okay. I don't hear her at all. This may be a tough game. This could potentially be a restart. Because it might be difficult to get her over here to the chapel. But she did come over here once, so I'm hopeful. Alright, hunt should be about over. I'm actually going to try to grab the rest of the stuff I'm going to need to do my objectives, which is basically motion sensor. He's back on. Alright, yeah, hunt should be over. Alright, she is hunting again. I'm going to try to head to the chapel, but at the second I hear footsteps, I'm going to turn back around. And it's so hard, because sometimes, like, your own footsteps sound like the ghost footsteps. Yeah, this is super interesting that she doesn't come this way at all. I'm just gonna put this right here. She should activate it whenever we go for the picture. Okay. Let me pick up my lighter, and I did bring... Okay. Alright, hunt should be over. Yeah, she is like back towards the kitchen, so I'm gonna give her a couple hunts. If she doesn't come this way, I'm gonna restart, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to aggro her over here. But what's really nice about the tier 3 parabolic microphone is that you can hear, like, from this far away. So you could already cross up a bunch of ghosts just by hearing what they sound like. The tier 3 parabolic microphone honestly has revolutionized the gold trophy. For both finding the ghosts and also hearing what they sound like. Yeah, as far as like how close the ghost can be, the little dot, and to when you need to turn off the parabolic microphone, usually once it gets to the second ring, so like we're starting from the bottom, and now we're here, now starting from the bottom and moving up, the second ring is when if she gets close to that, or if they get close to that is when I would turn off. Okay, here she goes. She is coming over here. I might go for a picture, maybe. She like turned back around. Ghosty. Her footsteps. I didn't start my timer either because I was too busy talking about the parabolic microphone, so I don't know how much longer the hunt has. She's just living her best life back there. Okay, hunt is over. Yeah, I'll try for one more time to get her to come over here, and if she doesn't, yeah, we'll restart. Because like I said, this is one of those spots where there's not really good hiding back there, and I wouldn't feel comfortable going for the gold trophy back there. But also at this point, we could probably cross off like Wraith, Phantom, and Banshee, because those 3 ghosts would probably be over here harassing me. They'd be hunting on top of me or throwing things. She's really not gonna come over here, is she? She's just kind of living her best life back in the kitchen. Oh, she is coming out. Will it be enough time? She does not detect the parabolic microphone yet. Ghosty? No. Ghosty? No. Oh. Ghosty? Go okay. I mean, I could try for another 30 minutes to try to get her to come over here, but I just don't think it's worth our time. And she's also not like a super obvious ghost. I might just go into another game so we can see what she is. And if we could have figured it out. But we'll go and restart. She did very kindly let us walk out without hunting again. How kind. Alright. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna guess Goryo. That's always my guess and go ghost. The only way you can figure out Goryo on this difficulty is if the ghost never changes its favorite room, which is sometimes hard to tell. So that's kind of my guess and go ghost. I'm not sure. But we'll go down and see what she does. Ah, yokai! So that could have made sense as to why she wasn't sensing our parabolic microphone, because she kind of got within the detection range and didn't come over. So that would have been actually a nightmare to try to get her to come over to the chapel. Because yokais can detect your equipment, I think, within like 2.5 meters. So she would have been like, she would have had to see us to be able to come over there. The yokai is a ghost you can figure out in this difficulty, but can be a little frustrating when you're trying to go for the picture and get the ghost to come over to you. Okay, let me restart and try to get us a better game. Okay, we got some good objectives. And I did crank up my brightness, that's why it might look really, really bright. I thought maybe it might help seeing the ghost a little bit better when we go for the ghost picture and such. It won't really help us get around that well, but... Alright, going in. Alright, ghost is hunting. Let's see if we hear it. Alright, I think it's safe to assume at this point that this ghost is not a Dio. They did not find us, so... Alright, so now we're gonna use the parabolic microphone to try to figure out where the heck this ghost is. But I might wait like one more hunt right here. Let's make sure it's not a teleporting ghost. Okay. The ghost is now hunting. Take a little listen around for him. Alright, so nothing yet. Which is interesting. Could mean that's downstairs, which is both good and bad. At least it is not in the forbidden kitchen. This is good. Alright, hunt should be over. I might vibe out by this one hiding spot by the east wing. And then once the hunt starts, we'll see if we either hear the ghost or turn on the parabolic microphone and try to hear the ghost. So let me do this. Open this door. So we can hear when it starts hunting, and then now we get to the hiding spot. Okay. Okay, so it's hunting. Don't hear it at all. Okay, so it is in there. It's actually good and bad. Good because we have that looping spot, but bad trying to get to that spot. Alright, sounds pretty normal speed as well. And hopefully it's near the back of this wing, so we can get to that one spot easily. Okay, since we know where it is, I'm gonna leave this here. I think I'm gonna go try to get a picture camera, and we might just try to go for the picture this next time. Like the next time we can actually get into that area. Now theoretically, oh, I was gonna say we should be able to safely go from here to the hiding spot outside the door without any problems. Now we could get unlucky when hunt and the ghost paths this way. We're just gonna hope that doesn't happen. Sometimes you gotta take a few risks, you know. Every time I say that when I do this, the ghost does what I said I probably won't do. Let's see. I don't hear it yet. Okay. I'm just gonna wait here. And then go inside as soon as the hunt's over. Hopefully, we can make it to the beds. It's gonna take us probably 30 seconds to actually walk to those beds, so I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Oh my god. The beds don't normally feel this far away, but when I'm doing this, they feel so far away. We're so close. Please, ghost, have mercy. I think we're gonna make it. Okay, we've made it. Now, can we successfully loop the ghost here? That's the question. All right. Stand like right here. I think the ghost... Oh, it's a Raiju. Okay. I think I definitely got the ghost, but you see how fast he is around my night vision goggles? I think actually, do I need to repel him for... Let's go and do this. Oh, I need to drop that. I cannot see. Jesus, that is awful. Now, I would turn off the night vision goggles to show you how he's slower, but then I might not be able to see. And we're not here to die, you know what I mean? Okay. He's so fast. He's also not like getting progressively faster and faster. Raijus get faster on electronics, but they also get like faster and faster and faster. Okay. Now we should have a little bit of time to try to get out of here. Maybe I should have waited to smudge a little bit closer to the end of the hunt. So I had more time. Let's get over here. I think we can make it out. Oh lord. Going as fast as I can. Can't remember what our objectives were. We'll check once we're in a safe spot. God. Oh, okay. Safety. So yeah, we'll go and listen to his speed right now, and we'll see how it's like normal 150. Ooh, boy, get me up here. Get me to the safety. Okay. Let's just double check everything. Can't remember what our objectives were. Oh, we have a firelight and a motion sensor one. I just need to escape him. Okay. Which is not the end of the world. We can definitely do that. But we did get the picture. There he is. Caught in 4K. So his next hunt, I'll go and show you how he's... See how he's normal speed? And he got significantly faster around the motion sensor and whatnot. Or sorry, my night vision goggles. What am I saying? Yeah, this is one of those scenarios where the firelight can be annoying because you actually have to like take it over to the ghost, which could mean our death and demise, but we're gonna go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab everything else I'm gonna need to get this stuff done. And I just wanted to show you real quick how you could potentially get the ghost picture if you have a ghost near the chapel and you're trying to use the piano as a hiding spot. This isn't a great example because I did end up getting murked here. I don't know if it was because I was going against Moroi and he was so fast, or if it was a skill issue or something with like the smudge. I did end up dying, but like this is the strategy that I would use to try to get the ghost picture in this situation. Ghosty? And he so graciously waited until I walked outside. He did not hunt again. It's nice. Okay, so what can I go back with? I need another smudge, which is certain firelight. So we could potentially just loop him at those beds until he blows out the firelight, and the motion sensor will be easy. The hardest part is just going to be getting down to those beds without him murking us. Okay, so he's hunting again. Let's go and set a timer. And after this game's over, I will talk about like how to figure out the other ghost types. Wow, it's like just a dark void right here. It looked like there was doors there for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the motion sensor here, just for now. Grab my lighter. Okay, hunt should be over soonish. Okay, hunt is over now. Please, 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 sir. Be kind. I beg. I'm gonna try to swap to this. Okay. So theoretically, while we're looping him, hopefully he blows that out. Theoretically, of course. I'm gonna stand here because I'm assuming he's gonna spawn over there. Okay. Now, Sarah, I brought you this wonderful firelight. Would you care to blow it out? After this hunt, we could try to move it like closer to where he's actually at right now. Oh, we did it! Let's go! Okay. As soon as this hunt ends, we'll try to go grab the motion sensor. Now, I could, to be extra safe, smudge him right now so I have more time. However, I don't really feel like going back to grab another smudge stick. Here, I'll set a timer so I know about how long I have before you can hunt again.
Oh, it came out.
I think we can make it outside this door before you can hunt again. It'll be really close. Oh, it's gonna be so close. Although this ghost has been like very kind. Okay, we made it out. So we'll wait one more hunt before we go back in there. To put down a motion sensor. Alright, he's going. Okay, so let's just double check. Yeah, we got firelight. He's got to get the motion sensor down. He's actually coming this way this time. It's a little scary. Might try something really risky here. Come back this way. I know you want to. I mean, if he keeps coming this way, we could definitely just get him to activate the motion sensor here. Maybe we just wait for one more hunt and see if he does that again. Yeah, hunt is over. Okay, open the door so... Oh, no, I shut it? Okay. Hopefully we'll hear that lock. No, he still hasn't hunted yet. We can still open this door. Okay, so he is hunting now. Come this way. I'm like both hoping he comes this way, but also nervous because he might get so fast that he'll bump into that bookcase that's right there and see me. Let's see. So far, it doesn't sound like he's coming this way. Okay, I don't think he's coming this way, so we're gonna try to be brave and go back in there. I mean, theoretically, we could sit here for like an hour and just wait till he passes this way. But, we're gonna risk it. Here we go. I'm gonna try to... Oh, he's turning the light, so he's not a mare. That would be a way to tell if the ghost is not a mare. It's right there. I have to turn the light on. Okay, please keep spawning over there and not like somehow behind me. Okay, I did just open that door. Or touch it at least. Oh, I don't like that though. Okay, just touch that door. Okay. Alright, there's the motion sensor activated. Let me start like a rough timer. I'm gonna try to smudge him near the end of the hunt. And I'm fairly confident on Raiju here because he's getting significantly faster on the electronics. Also has not changed his behavior. He keeps doing that every hunt, so probably not Mimic. So great rate test for Raiju with the night vision goggles, which is nice. Beep beep. Alright, it's probably about 45 seconds left. I'll smudge him. Alright, let's go ahead and smudge him. Now I'm gonna set like a smudge timer. And I hate how blinding the smoke is. When you use an incense, you like can't see it, so I was trying to throw it away. Alright, we should have plenty of time to get out of here. And once we get to the front door outside, we'll double check everything. And like I said, after this game, we'll talk about how you could identify other ghosts. Which I have a complete guide on all like the ghost abilities, if you want to check that out to like see what the abilities look like. Obviously, you just have to keep in mind about this difficulty. The speed is 150, so the speed's gonna sound a little bit different. And there are some ghosts that are impossible to figure out in this difficulty. Actually, one ghost that is impossible. I think we should be able to just make it all the way out. So yeah, that spot where I did this challenge is like really, really good. Figuring out the ghosts. Even like a Moroi, you could probably loop them there, no problem. Hopefully, this video doesn't cause them to patch that. I apologize if it does. Although my last guide, the spot I used got patched like within a week of my video coming out. So, okay, let's just double check. So we got all the objectives. We got the picture. Let's select Raiju. So that is our ghost site. And let's go load out. See if we did it. Ta-da! Nice. That has a big payout. Sheesh. So yeah, so if you do all this, you should get the gold trophy. Now, there is I don't know if the bug's still there. Let's lower my brightness a little bit. There was a bug where if you did the gold trophy before any of the others, when you load it in, the silver wouldn't be here. All you gotta do is like go here and hit leave, and then your silver trophy will be there. I don't know if the bug's still out, but it was whenever I was coaching people last. Okay, so we've done it. Let's go and talk about all the ghosts you can easily identify. How about I cross off the ghosts that are a little bit trickier to identify? Alright, so these are all the ghosts that should be easily identifiable on this difficulty. Spirit, you would just pay attention to your smudge timer. If for 2 or 3 smudges the ghost takes 3 minutes to hunt, probably a spirit. Poltergeist, you can listen to how much it's throwing. If it's throwing things like crazy, I'm not just talking about like a couple throws here and there, like just like most likely a poltergeist. Demon, you would look for any smudge timer that's under 90 seconds. Yokai, you'd look for a ghost that just has a really hard time detecting your equipment. Like if you're on the same floor as it, you're using your walkie-talkie, it's staticking, ghost isn't finding you, probably yokai. Myling, you look to see if it's super quiet. Like if you can't hear it until your radio starts staticking, it's probably a Myling. Raiju, like that game you just saw, it gets super fast, you're on your night vision goggles and any other electronic equipment you have turned on. Moroi and Thay could be a little bit tricky on this. What you pay attention for is 1, the speed, it's gonna be very, very fast. And 2, how long it ignores you after you smudge it. Like a Moroi with a tier 3 smudge should ignore you for 10.5 seconds. Like it'll be standing still for 10.5 seconds. A Thay won't do that. Also, a Moroi will get gradually faster and faster as it's coming towards you. So you've noticed the ghost speed's getting faster and faster, then it's probably a Moroi. And it's like super fast. Also, a Thay will be faster than a Moroi without any line of sight. So you could pay attention to if it's like extremely fast. Wraith, it'll TP to you and won't step in salt. So you could do a test like at the front door with some crucifixes and some salt and see if it's activating the motion sensor but not stepping in the salt. You do those same tests for Banshee and Phantom. Like if you notice the ghost is like hunting on top of you, I would just stick at the front door with crucifixes, salt, maybe a picture camera so you can try to get the picture if it events. And once even steps in the salt, it steps in the salt, not a wraith. 2, you could try to get the picture. If it's hunting, if you've seen its blank, you can easily tell if it's a phantom or not. But if you've gotten the picture and it says 3-star ghost picture and it's not in the picture, then it's a phantom. But if it stepped in the salt, you take a picture, you can see the ghost in the picture. It seems to be following you around, stalking, go for Banshee. You could listen for the Banshee scream, but with the 0-second grace period, it's a little nerve-wracking trying to use the parabolic mic and it potentially hunting and detecting your parabolic mic. So I'll leave that up to you. Revenant, it'll be super duper slow on this difficulty. It'll still be it'll sound slightly fast, but it'll be very, very slow. Hantu will be fast, and you'll also be able to see its breath while it's hunting. Obake, you'll try to see the shapeshift. It might be hard to see on this difficulty, but that's what you'd look for. Deogen, very obvious. It'll immediately come towards you, be fast, and then very slow. Oni, very visible blink. Very good ghost to get the ghost picture against because it's very visible. Twins, it'll either be slightly faster or slightly slower, which might be hard to tell with 150 ghost speed. But if you listen to the ghost hunting enough, you'll hear it be slightly slower one hunt or then slightly faster. Mimic, you'll look for any behavior changes. Like if it all of a sudden becomes a Deogen when it was in the hunt before, it's probably a Mimic. And then we kind of already talked about Fae. It'll be extremely fast, won't ignore the smudge for as long as a Moroi, and also won't gradually speed up with line of sight. Mare is possible to figure out, potentially. You can cross off Mare if you hear the ghost turn on a light switch. Also, if you can somehow get into the ghost room and be safe, you could turn the light on and see if you ever get the Mare ability. You can still get the Mare ability if the breaker's broken. So if you like turn the light on, it turns it off immediately. There's no ghost event. You could potentially think Mare. Yuri, you could listen for the door slam or the double door touch. Maybe. Onryo, if you're brave enough to go near the ghost room with the lanterns and a crucifix, you could test for Onryo. Jin is impossible to figure out in this difficulty. With the breaker being broken, you can't do any test to figure out Jin. So Jin's kind of like those last resort ghosts. Shade, if you're able to go near the ghost room and sit in it and see if the ghost ever hunts or is specifically going out of its way to hunt outside of the room, could potentially be a Shade. I actually have had coach somebody on this. They had a Shade do 5 ghost events, one of those being fully visible ghost events. So I wouldn't necessarily take the ghost events as a way to rule Shade, like as a Shade or not a Shade. And then Goryo would just be if you've crossed off every other ghost and the ghost has never changed his favorite room, you could go with Goryo. But definitely the speedy ones are very easy to figure out. The blink ones, honestly, the teleporty ghosts are pretty nice because you can just do everything by the front door. And honestly, a lot of times they'll do ghost events for me. But definitely that was kind of like the TLDR about how to figure out these ghost types. I do have a whole video about how to test for these ghosts and what their abilities look like if you want to see them firsthand. But I do believe those are all the tips and tricks I have for you guys for the gold trophy after this new Ascension update. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to post them down below. Hopefully I covered everything. I might have forgotten a few things. But if you did find yourself enjoying the video, make sure to drop the video a like. If you love, drop me a sub. Good luck ghost hunting, and I will see you in the next one.